Are you doing keto but you're tired all the time? There's a few common reasons why this can happen, so let's talk about it. So it's not uncommon to feel your energy dip or feel a little bit of lethargia in the first few days or maybe the first week of transitioning into a ketogenic diet. There are a few reasons why this happens, and the first one would be not replenishing your electrolytes and your hydration, right? So not being hydrated throughout the day, not making sure that you're getting enough water and electrolytes. And so the reason this happens is because when you reduce your carbohydrate intake, your body starts to flush water out, and with that water, it takes sodium with it. So if you're not replenishing that, you're gonna have a hard time throughout the day. You're gonna feel like your energy levels are a little bit lower than they could be. So simply just making sure you're staying on top of your water and staying on top of your electrolytes is going to make a massive difference for you. Another common reason people feel extra tired when they first start keto is because they're actually may not be eating enough. So if you're following a keto diet for the goal of fat loss or weight loss and you're reducing your calories at the same time as you're transitioning into a ketogenic diet, if you reduce your calories too much or you drop too far into a deficit as you're going through that transition period, it can actually just make you feel tired and not have enough energy and kind of feel a little bit crappy, right? So we need to make sure that if you're going through that transition period and you're noticing that you're extra tired, make sure that you're eating enough, right? Make sure you're not going too deep into a deficit, or even the first week, don't even go into a deficit. Eat around your maintenance intake, but just change up the macronutrient distribution of your food, right? So if you're gonna lower your carbs, keep your protein moderate, and keep your fat where it's at, and don't think about necessarily reducing your calorie intake too much, especially at the beginning. So that's gonna be one of the most common mistakes I see, is that you're just reducing your calories too much, and that is going to cause excess lethargia, excess tiredness. So definitely pay attention to that. So if you're feeling tired all the time, another thing to think about is potentially taking it down a notch with your exercise. So maybe reducing the intensity of your exercise or the overall volume of your exercise is probably gonna be a good idea, especially in the first few weeks, especially with the intensity side of things. If you're doing a lot of high intensity training, maybe you're doing high intensity interval training, Orange Theory or sprinting or things like that, anything that's super, super high intensity, you probably want to take that down a notch, because that is going to be an activity that's very, very dependent on carbohydrates. And so if you are reducing your carbohydrates and your body is not used to that yet, then it's going to add a little bit more stress, right? It's going to be another stressor that you're undertaking as you're transitioning. So just reducing your overall intensity of your exercise and potentially the amount of exercise you're doing is probably going to be a good idea, and potentially focusing on lower intensity exercise or yoga or things that can help you get out of that stressful state, right? So that's probably going to be my best advice in terms of the exercise side of things, and to help with feeling more energy throughout the day and combating some of that tiredness is just pay attention to your exercise intensity and your volume, and think about maybe switching that up a little bit as you transition. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more about nutrition, fitness, or metabolic flexibility, you can check out our website, metflexlife.com. There you can find our podcast, MetFlex and Chill, our nutrition and exercise programs, our latest blog posts, free recipes, and much more.